Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I wanted to make you aware of something that somebody told me about. This is an article that apparently was like a question answer session with Brad Garlinghouse, and it's on this website called theinformation.com. Now, I do not subscribe to this, and so I haven't read the whole article, but I was told that in this article that Brad Garlinghouse talks about some of the different IPO options that Ripple has as potential IPO possibilities. And I was told that the impression that was left was that these guys are in a position where they could IPO in a different country if they needed to. That's just what I'm just telling you what I was told. I haven't read it because this is like a subscription article. But anyway, the overall point is on this thing is that, look, even though everybody thinks, oh, this SEC thing's going to drag out and all this, the SEC is not standing in Ripple's way from a worldwide perspective. The SEC is not the only show in town, even though they're going to eventually, this thing's going to eventually be gone, and some type of something, it'll come to a conclusion in one way or another. I don't think the SEC is dumb enough to think that just imagine, and a lot of you probably haven't thought about this. Imagine what if you're Gary Gensler and you're Mr. Bureaucrat, which is what he is, and you're sitting there and the people with Ripple say to you, "Hey, Gary, we're kind of getting sick of this whole deal. What we're about to do," and I'm not saying Ripple would do this. I'm just saying if you're Gary Gensler and you are the preeminent bureaucrat who wants to look like you're some United States government hero to the world, right? If you're that guy and I'm Brad Garlinghouse and say, you know, Gare, I've had about enough of this. What we're going to do, you want to play this game with us? We could solve this problem down the road with another administration, but I'm going to hang around your neck, Gary. I'm gonna go and IPO in the United Kingdom or something because you seem to not want our kind of innovation to be in the United States. You seem to want to only let Ethereum have it. The reasons for that are very questionable, by the way. But for whatever the reasons are, that's how you want to play the game. So Gary, I'm going to let you be known as the SEC chairman who caused one of the greatest technological developments in the history of the United States financial system to go offshore. We're going to hang that firmly around your neck, Gary. Then the people that put you there, maybe they'll rethink who they put there and get rid. I mean, Brad wouldn't say this, but this is me saying this. Maybe they will eventually get rid of your butt, but that's what you'll be remembered for. If you're Gary Gensler, is that who you want to be? Is that what you want to have around? You get that put around your neck and you sink to the bottom, folks. Now, I say all that to say this. This thing at some point's going away because Gary may be playing games right now, but Gary, just like anybody, has his own set of weaknesses. The SEC has their own set of weaknesses. Now, if XRP was this obvious security and all that, that'd be one thing. But we've shown you all the ridiculousness having to do with what they did for Ethereum. XRP is more decentralized than Ethereum is, and everybody knows it. And what they've done is a farce, and everybody knows it's a farce. And because it's a farce, what I just described as a scenario for Gary to have to think about what's going to be hung around his neck and what he'll be remembered for, that's a real scenario because of what a farce this is. All right, so for that reason, when I tell you that Link2 has got Ripple private equity, not to be confused with the digital asset XRP, on their platform, I think yesterday they put like $1.2 million worth of Ripple equity on there, and it's like, I think it's almost below 200,000 today. every time they've ever put this stuff up there, it seems to go really quick. And it's obvious reason that somebody somewhere obviously must think that when this thing goes away, and it will go away, when it goes away, that this Ripple equity goes absolutely berserk, and you won't be. This is just me, my personal opinion. I think there will be a time when people won't be able to get their hot hands on it, and I think that time's coming fast. And it goes the same for XRP. Now, earlier this morning, I had done this thread right here about the people trying to hide what they had done with that venture capital working group. And Tim, who's at TimR614, had replied to that. He said, and most people don't understand all that tech is out already. And he says, XRP, ADA, Algo does already what Ethereum is trying to make as 3.0, but the SEC's Gary Gensler are making an illusion that 3.0 is okay when it's here already with other crypto. He's exactly right here. This, and I retweeted it, the Ethereum illusion. That's exactly what they're doing. They have created an illusion, that Ethereum's decentralized and somehow all these others are not. That's just a lie, and they know it. All of them know it. The other thing that they floated out there is that somehow Ethereum was distributed differently than others, and it's bullcrap. It's all bull. They had an ICO, and they're trying to, and you can't just say, oh, well, they had an ICO, but that was back then, and setting that aside, well, now they're not. That's a bunch of baloney, and even Bill Hinman knows it. That was a baloney speech, and he knows it. Now, speaking of baloney, I've got a whistleblower alert. Ethereum is a security. Ethereum 2.0, if it ever launches, is a security. Hinman's speech, his personal opinion, as he says it, has resulted in the belief that some can issue tokens at will on Ethereum and have them not classified as securities. But since this was his personal opinion, those people are completely misinformed, i.e. Joseph Lubin. So I want a reward. There was a UPS guy out there. I want a reward, SEC. I want a reward because Ethereum is a security. Ethereum 2.0, if it ever gets launched, is a security in progress, okay? And all of these token launches that Joseph Lubin is saying are not securities are securities. Just because he got his free pass off of somebody's personal opinion at the SEC who is no longer there does not mean that those are not securities. I think they are, and I want a reward.
Bill Hinman, Director of Corporate Finance of the SEC, indicated that were perfectly viable and wouldn't be considered securities if they're properly constructed and properly marketed, so not sold in enormous quantities to speculators. So we at ConsenSys at our Token Foundry project continue to do lots of that work. We've had some successful sales recently and are moving towards more successful sales, in particular the Civil Project, a platform for ethical and sustainable journalism, which many of us are extremely passionate about.
Yes, us especially at Yahoo Finance. I'm glad you mentioned what Bill Hinman said about Ether not being a security, because that did happen at our live crypto summit, and you were there as well.
Actually, that's not what he said. It was his personal opinion, which means nothing. Now, and then there is this, and I put a Brad Garlinghouse quote at the top here. It's incredibly important that the entire industry recognizes that we have to work with regulators. We have to work with the system. That's Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. This is Joseph Lubin from April 21st, 2015.
Joseph Lubin, co-founder of a project called Ethereum, which is an open source decentralized application platform. It's based in Switzerland. It's a nonprofit project. Ethereum, a platform which will be released in 4 to 8 weeks, guys, something like that. It will be born with regulation baked in.
Born with regulation baked in. What does that even mean? Well, this is more of that word salad that we can create our own reality BS. That's what this is. Regulation baked in.
Reaction from the regulators to what you're building?
Regulators are unaware of Ethereum at this point, as far as I know.
Okay, so on April 21st of 2015, regulators are unaware of Ethereum at this point as far as he knows. We also know that he got a piece of paper in his pocket before he did that token launch. So the question is, does he not have the piece of paper in his pocket as he sits on this stage here? I don't think he had the piece of paper yet, but at some point he got a piece of paper. I'm gonna have to answer a phone call and then I will start this video. Okay, had to take that phone call, but we're moving along. Okay, this is a great tweet by Stefan Huber. By the way, did you know that ConsenSys was founded right after the end of the Ethereum pre-sale by Ethereum co-founder Joseph Lubin? What an unbelievable coincidence. We surely are all sure that no money from the pre-sale was used to set up his company to build the blockchain. Well, we do know because he said that it was, I think he called it, I can't remember if he said self-funded. ConsenSys was by him. Okay, so we don't know for 1,000% sure, but I'll bet you, to quote Mike Novogratz, dollars to donuts, that he did fund it with some of the money from the Ethereum thing. Okay, now you need to see this, and I'll read this first. History repeats itself. Monopolies can be created when a company gets too big, but often if there's a government-induced advantage over other competitors. Who started Netscape? That would be Mark Andreessen, the same Mark Andreessen of Andreessen Horowitz. Who led the venture capital working group in talks with the SEC that ended up giving the Ethereum free pass? That would be Andreessen Horowitz. So I said history repeats itself. Listen.
But that same year, Microsoft was sued by the federal government over allegations of monopolistic business practices. The antitrust case is one of the most significant events in Microsoft's history, as a divestiture almost occurred. It was actually ruled in 2000 that Microsoft was a monopoly and had violated the Sherman Antitrust Act. The court ordered Microsoft to split up into two business entities, one to create operating systems and one to create applications. However, this didn't occur, as in 2001, after an appeal was filed, the government announced that it would seek a lesser antitrust penalty. But the case exposed Microsoft's anti-competitive business practices for the entire world to see. Testimony from an Intel employee alleged that a Microsoft executive informed him of the company's plan to extinguish Netscape and cut off their air supply. But that's...
All right, see how this world works? You know what the difference is between today and then? The difference is back then you had companies competing with each other. Companies, and the companies had shareholders. You have two things now that are different. You still have the companies and the shareholders, but now there are digital assets in the game, and there are thousands of people out in another thing you didn't have back then, which is social media. And we are owners of some of these digital assets. And we out in social media can get really angry when things are not being done that are right. And we also have a thing called YouTube where we can go and find their own words that they've forgotten they said and expose them and put it out to the world. And these are public forums that they said these in. They just didn't think anybody would piece them together. Or maybe they thought that enough time had passed, nobody was paying attention. They were wrong. Now, Mr. B makes a very good point in this clip right here. He said in this tweet, he says, last bull run difficult to buy XRP. XRP suppressed, Coinbase won't list it. XRP suppressed, bear market, XRP FUD nonstop. XRP suppressed, this bull run SEC lawsuit. XRP suppressed, exchanges halt XRP trading. XRP suppressed, big money in Bitcoin, Ethereum will hold XRP back as long as they can. Don't misunderstand my tweet. I'm 100% bullish on XRP, but that is what I have seen happen over the last 4 years, and I don't think it is a coincidence. I believe there will be a settlement, and they will not be able to hold XRP back anymore, and I agree with Mr. B. One thing he forgot to mention that I thought I'd mention is many of you weren't around, but on January 9th, 2018, this article came out. CoinMarketCap, I remember it because I woke up one morning, XRP was at, let's see what it was at. CoinMarketCap had just without telling anyone, they had excluded Korean exchanges in the price calculations of XRP. They didn't say anything to anyone, and everybody woke up the next morning and the price of their XRP had just plummeted. And that freaked the market out even further, and it tanked the price. And I've always thought that this was some people up to no good. And I still believe it to this day. Now, this is another clip I wanted to play you from. You know what? I'm going to skip that clip, but it's basically Brad Garlinghouse talking about the SEC picking winners and losers. And I want to remind you again, one thing that he said at least once or twice in that interview was that they were trying to pick winners and losers, but there are going to be many winners in this. And I just feel like he was trying to telegraph to us that, hey, this might hurt for now, but it's not going to hurt permanently. Now, I wanted to make this point too. What's going on in XRP social media is a combination of The Big Short, Don't F with Cats, and Inside Job. If you haven't watched all three of those, you should, because you are watching what you're participating in and what you're a part of and what we've all been a part of for the last few years in social media. There will be movies made of this. Make no mistake about that. If there's not movies made of this, then Hollywood doesn't know what they're doing anymore. Because just as an example, The Big Short, at the end of The Big Short, the main guy in the movie walks up to a whiteboard and writes, I think it was like 450%. That was his return on that on the investment. That was worthy of making a movie. Do you know what the return is on XRP and some of these digital assets? For some people out here, you know what the returns are going to be? We're talking 30 to 100,000%, folks. This movie, and that's just one section of the movie. There's another movie, and that is social media taking on the SEC and showing the truth when people aren't wanting to talk about the truth. There's several movies in this. Several movies. Okay, then Bank XRP had put this clip out. Here's a clip from the FinTech thing that Brad at the Milken Institute. Here's Brad Garlinghouse.
Brady said that I just want to comment on. There is, I think, a narrative that has been put out there, particularly by some parts of at least the U.S. government, that crypto is not regulated. I will tell you, crypto is regulated. Ripple is regulated. Yeah. We are regulated by, FinCEN. We're registered in New York DFS. We registered, the CFTC regulates crypto. This idea that crypto in the United States is the Wild West, every Ripple transaction is going through a regulated endpoint of a financial institution. If you're Coinbase, every account's KYC. I think there are, the idea that it's not regulated, I just think that's not where we are today.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me see what else we have. This was just some Joseph Lubin research I was doing here. I forgot to take it down. Then Christian Carlo comes out of nowhere and he says, it was great once again to join my CFTC wingman, Brian Quintens, and speak to members of the House, AG, what is this? House, that's the Agricultural Committee. Speak to members of the House and then about cryptocurrency, CBDCs, digital transformation, and the future of money. And here's the pictures of them. And I don't know if many of you remember, but what this reminded me of is Brad Garlinghouse was talking about this a while back. It was I can't remember the name of it. It was like an agricultural bill or something where it would designate XRP as a commodity, I believe. I remember the tweet. I just forgot to pull it up. Okay. Now, wanted to get to this. We are getting John Deaton's lawsuit to 100,000. Okay, I want you to get your spouses, uncles, aunts, grandparents, stepbrothers, step-aunts, and even the stepmother or mother-in-law that you may not like. Get them to buy an XRP and join the lawsuit because they can do it. Everyone, and then retweet that. We want to get this thing going, and then also remember this video I showed you from the official cool guy of the Digital Asset Investor channel. Well, he was trying to get BitBoy. He was trying to get BitBoy to start helping to get more people in John Deaton's lawsuit. And it looks to me that the official cool guy was cool enough to get the attention of BitBoy. And that's a good thing. Missed this on the stream today. This is BitBoy tweeting this out. Missed this on the stream. Stay tuned for this on Monday's morning live stream. So BitBoy wants to be the head honcho in the XRP. He wants to be the general. If you want to be the general, I'm all for it. Be the general. I'm not into titles. Be the general, and help us get this lawsuit to 100,000 XRP holders. And then I'll call you general. I don't care. XRP vet Diamonds to the Sky sent me something that is worthy of showing you. Just so happens that this was put out by IBM right here in the middle of all this. October 21st, 2021, fueling the financial industry with open source cross-border payments. Look at this. Utilizes the Stellar network, which uses lumens as a bridge currency, essentially a unit of value transfer value and transaction cost calculations. We've always said on this channel that there would be XRP and there would be XLM, and they were two of the chosen ones. I stand by that. I think some bad guys tried to make a much lesser technology, Ethereum. They've tried to hold all the good ones off as long as they could to try and hold these back, while Ethereum had a chance to get this Ethereum 2.0, which still will be technologically behind XLM and XRP. They've tried their best. They're going to lose. We're going to make sure, we're going to see to it. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that XRP and XLM were always the ones. Thanks for listening.